Hello there. I was staring at the rain. It's actually a nice, beautiful, rainy afternoon here in Southern California. It's supposed to rain all weekend, and I'm super excited about that. Which is no better time to be reviewing than this beautiful, beautiful, I hope, tasty and yummy expression from GLENDRONACH, one of my absolute favorite distilleries. This is called Ode to the Valley. So it's a little lighter and fruitier, I think, than the Ode to the Dark. The Ode to the Dark from GLENDRONACH is one of the three of this Master's Anthology series. And so that Ode to the Dark is just nice and dark and musty and delicious. And it's matured in PX casks, in Pedro Jimenez casks. This Ode to the Valley is a little lighter and fruitier. And I know it's going to be a little fruitier because the bottle says that it's matured in Portuguese port casks, hence the name port, by the way, from Douro in Portugal, and then partially aged in the GLENDRONACH sherry casks, which is all they really tell you. They don't say which specific kind of sherry it is. Probably something like Oloroso. So anyway, we're going to test this out. This is a no age statement. It's bottled at 46.2%. And it's natural color. I can't vouch for the filtering though. It might be chill filtered, not sure. Hi Helly, that's my doggie. She loves the rain too. Okay, and then also I've got this little friend with me today. All right, let's open this puppy up and see what it tastes like. I've been waiting to do this review with you guys so I could open this up. I love opening up new bottles with you guys. First tasting for me as well. All right. Okay, nice. And I do have my GLENDRONACH Copita, which is a nice little nosing glass. I think that this came from Delia's whiskey in Germany when I ordered some other GLENDRONACHs. All right, let's do a nice healthy pour. Look at that beautiful color, and that's a natural color. It's a little redder than the Ode to the Dark, and that's just because of the port. So the port is going to give us a sort of a lighter, fruitier taste, although the sherry casks in which that this is matured also is gonna give us some nice depth. So let's give this a nice whiff. Oh wow, I can smell that port. It really emanates from for the nose. It is light. The fruitness of it is something like blackberries or plums. And that's really dominant. It's not so much the sherry, but it's the port casks that I smell the most in this. And really like a nice rich, if you can imagine, nice rich purple fruits. This would actually be a nice, perfect dram for both a rainy day and a nice sunny afternoon. Hi! That was Hallie. Okay. Mmm. The that nice bright fruitiness. Let me see if I can move the camera over so you can see Hallie for just a quick second. Hallie, say hi. Yeah, there she is. She's an Alaskan Malamute and wants a cookie. I'm having my whiskey, so she gets a cookie. But she's gonna have to wait till I finish this review. Hallie? Yeah, I know. Lay down. No, lay down. Okay, she's gonna just be doing this during the whole review, so this is what I live with. She is a 12-and-a-half-year-old Alaskan Malamute, so whatever she wants, she gets, pretty much. She's so spoiled. Back to this. If you can imagine any kind of purple... Lay down, you goofball. If you can imagine any thick, rich purple fruit, like blackberries, raspberries, plums, even prunes, but I think that the Ode to the Dark was a little prunier. we're back. Some little diva just had her lunch, so we're all good to go now. So, as I was saying, the nose on this is very port-y. It's light and fruity, but the sherry casks, I think, are giving this a little depth. So, as I was saying right before the break, this would be perfect for not only a cold, rainy day somewhere, a cold, snowy day, but even a nice, light, sunny afternoon. So this is really an all-around kind of um, um, expression that is really suitable for any occasion. It is slightly sweet. It is slightly sweet due to the port casks, um, and I still am tasting that nice, the purple fruitiness of, uh, like I was saying, I think raspberries, blackberries, prunes, plums. Well, I know a prune is a plum. Even dark, rich grapes, like those dark purple Concord grapes, like that. So, what this is lacking, though, it doesn't have that same mustiness, that dustiness, that dirtiness and thickness that the Ode to the Dark has, which I'm pretty sure is due to the Pedro Jimenez casks. Now, not to say that this doesn't have that same character as Ode to the Dark. It's just different. It's a lighter character. If you don't like that darkness, that mustiness, that some people think is similar to either the Campbelltown Funk or the mustiness of Edradour, which I love. I love that deep, dank mustiness. You feel like you're actually in the dunnage warehouse drinking this. So this really doesn't have that mustiness if that's kind of what you're going for. If that's what you're going for, either get the other one, the Ode to the Dark, which is the Pedro Jimenez casks, or go for something different. Go for some Edradour, even the Edradour 10, which I think I did a video ago or two. Um, so this is really nice, though. It's a nice dram. Um, it's just, it doesn't have that same richness and thickness, which probably the people at GLENDRONACH, Rachel Berry, was probably not going for that same deep dive darkness that Ode to the Dark has. So, okay, let's see, because this is bottled at, what did I say, 46.2%. Let's add a little tiny water and see if we can break up the, sorry, the giant dog is walking under the table with the camera on it. Let's see if we can break open some of this flavor, release some of this flavor. Oops, sorry. Thank you, Hallie. Okay. I smell the same nose, the same rich fruity port, even though it has kind of a light cast to it, sort of a light fruitiness. If you can imagine berries, blackberries floating into the air, that's what you're going to get from this. But the water really did open it up. I can tell in my bionic nose that this is really opening up nicely. I'm not sure about the filtering. The bottle doesn't say non-chill filtered, so we don't know, but it would be kind of a sad disappointment to know that this was chill filtered, especially if they're going for those deep, rich, complex flavors, which you take away a lot of that when you chill filter. Well, if I could let this glass sit for a couple hours, I'd see probably, I hope, a little bit of Scotch mist. But let's taste it. I'm getting a little kind of like a light chocolate with almonds from that. That sounds really good. A almond Hershey bar. Really opened it up. It cut that high alcohol content a lot. Maybe I added too much water, but I will just have to add more Scotch to my glass then. But it really did open it up. The mouthfeel isn't quite there. It's not the same depth and nice gooiness and viscosity that the Ode to the Dark had. This is indeed lighter and fruitier if that's what you're going for. This, and I know I say this to almost every whiskey I review. This would make a good gift for somebody, especially who's just starting out in whiskey. And there's nothing that's either too dark or too offensive or too anything about this. It's just really nice. And because it's GlenDronach, it's good stuff. Rachel Berry has done an amazing job with GlenDronach. Thank you, Rachel. And I have some other GlenDronach bottles that I'm going to show you in a minute as my weird thing from the whiskey lounge today. Mm. I am getting a nice rich chocolate taste, sort of a lighter milk chocolate, like I said, with almonds, sort of a nice lighter bit with that. If you can imagine having some sort of chocolate and cheese dessert plate, that's exactly what this reminds me of. So a little bit of um, manchego cheese and some berries or some grapes, maybe a nice crisp sweet Fuji apple. Um, that's this. Yeah, this is nice. It's perfect for a rainy day. But like I said, if you're really going for that deeper, darker, mustier, richer flavor, then the other of the three of their Masters Anthology, of GlenDronach's Masters Anthology series, the Ode to the Dark, go for that. Now, there's a third one that is Ode to Smoke, I think it is. I probably will be reviewing that. We have yet to get into any of the smoky peaty flavors here in Hillary's Whiskey Lounge, but we will. I know that some of you out there just can't wait to see some reviews about the smoky peaty whiskeys that I have. So speaking about other whiskeys that I have, I do want to show you some other things about the range besides Ode to the Dark and Ode to the Valley of GlenDronach, which again is what we reviewed today. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you. It's a really beautiful bottle. I love the series. I love the theme. This is sort of a teal green label and box. The Ode to the Valley, I mean, Ode to the Dark was a nice rich purple color. And then I think that the Ode to the Smoke is like a reddish kind of cardinal color. It's really nice, very nice. I love GlenDronach. I was lucky enough to visit GlenDronach in the summer, and I got to pour my own bottle, which was a huge treat. I don't know what I'm saving this for, a very, very special occasion perhaps. But let me read to you a little bit about this one. So hand-filled, this is 58%, and it's matured in PX puncheon, which is a size of a cask. So this is also matured in Pedro Jimenez. Um, and the cask is numbered, and I just can't wait to drink this. If you are lucky enough to visit a distillery and do your own hand fill from one of their special casks, go for it. Definitely try that out. But there are others. The most accessible, I think, have I reviewed this, is the GlenDronach 12. And this gives you just a nice basic first taste of GlenDronach. So this one is just more generic GlenDronach sherry casks than the Specialized Masters Anthology series. So this really isn't meant to have any sort of statement or flavor to it, other than it's matured in the finest Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso sherry casks from Spain. This is also non-age statement, and it's probably, I can't even see. Here it is. Ooh, 43%. So this would make an even better whiskey for a beginner whiskey drinker. The 43% is probably the lowest that I would like to go, but also wouldn't scare anybody. So this is probably the friendliest of the GlenDronachs. And speaking of friendly GlenDronach, I have something here that is a rare find, and that is the GlenDronach cask strength. I have batch 11 here. I don't even remember where I found this, but they don't make this anymore. This is bottled at 58% as well. So there was batch 10, batch 11, and I have this empty batch 12. So I don't know where I found this batch 11 hanging out. So anyway, I'm very lucky to have found this. Like I said, they don't make this anymore. So if you can find this hanging out on some whiskey liquor store's shelf or somewhere in their old stock, and you like cask strength, then get this, because as far as I know, I'm really not that familiar with all of the GlenDronachs, but this cask strength is probably their only cask strength, unless their their other upcoming expressions are going to be some sort of cask strength. So um, that, if you can find batch 10, 11, or 12 of this 58% cask strength, then more power to you. It's wonderful stuff. It's like everything that GlenDronach has, just compressed. Now, I don't think Rachel Berry had anything to do with this. She's relatively new, the director at GlenDronach, I think. Um, I wish that I had gotten to meet her when I was there in the distillery, but it was a very short visit, just enough for me to do my own hand pour and have a sample and leave. Um, so anyway, that's GlenDronach. They are a really good, reliable whiskey to have on your shelf, just for any time, any occasion, whether it's a little bit after work, or something more complex, like to go with that charcuterie dessert plate, or a steak or something like that. So like I said, there's a third of the anthology series that we're going to do, and that's the smoky one, that again I think is called Ode to the Smoke. Hmm. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining me on this um, sort of satisfying journey to GlenDronach again. Where again, if it's something that's a little lighter, a little fruitier that you're after than something rich and dark like the Ode to the Dark, then this Ode to the Valley might be right up your alley. So it's kind of right there in the middle. So, Slàinte everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please send me a like and subscribe. And also, I'd really appreciate it if you shared with your friends, especially ones that you know are either serious whiskey enthusiasts or looking to get into whiskey. So thank you guys very much. If you're here in Southern California, enjoy the rain. If you're in Scotland, enjoy the rain, or Ireland. And have a lovely weekend, everybody. Thank you so much.